right, what is happening, vintage gamers? I've got a nice, sweet one for you today. It is a off-stream preliminary event. I need to get some qualification points to play in the showcase next weekend. Vintage showcases are back for the first, is it quarter or third of 2023? So I'm pretty excited to get back. The MOX Magic Online Championship Series is one of the most high-profile and coolest events in Magic, and also worth thousands of dollars. So you can qualify that through Vintage, which is, you know me, that's what I want to see. I have a very beautiful deck in front of me. This is Brian Kelly's latest 5.0. And I've actually been really impressed with the Brian Kelly deck recently. Obviously, there's still a lot of things that I wouldn't personally play, but the core idea of the deck I actually really like. So I have 74 of Brian's 75. Brian had a list that looked like this, which was the 75 with 3 Force of Wills and 2 Mindbreak Traps. I can't do that to myself. I understand why Brian tries to do that, but we're going to put 4 Force of Wills in our deck. Everything else I have left exactly the same. And the reason I'm doing this is because every card in a Brian Kelly deck has a reason it's there. It has a specific purpose. Whether or not I draw that card at the right time for the right purpose, that's just the difference between, you know, a powerful wizard like Brian Kelly and I. But the cards that are in there that look weird, I guarantee you there's a reason Brian put them in there. Brian is very good at picking one-ofs that do a very specific thing and solve a very specific issue for his deck. And so I'm going to leave everything as it is, and hopefully I can determine as we play why certain cards are in the deck. At its core, this deck is a Lurrus value deck that happens to splash a Breach combo. So we have Breach Brain Freeze with LED and Black Lotus. Breach yourself, or Brain Freeze yourself, Brain Freeze your opponent, and they die. It's definitely teching higher into this Breach combo than ever before, with 2 Intuitions, 2 Sevine's Reclamations. So a lot of tutor and recursion for a deck that is has no black cards. Only 1 Breach and 1 Volcanic Island in our just atrocious mana base of 3 Saga, Strip Mine, Library, Caracas, Basic Island. I hate this mana base. I'll tell you that right now. I think this mana base is ridiculous, but we'll see how it goes today. And then you have a value Lurrus engine with a bunch of things for recurring, either Spell Bomb, Soul Guide Lantern, obviously Lotus, and LED. You've got a bunch of creatures that cost 2 mana with Thieving Skydiver, Jace Prodigy, Hushbringer, Draenith Magistrate, and Cathar Commando, my personal favorite. And then Sevine's Reclamation plays really well with those like recursion creatures, and of course Lurrus. If Lurrus gets bolted, you do have a way forward. Am I registered? I am registered. You also have Engineered Explosives to bring back, and March of the Otherworldly Light is a nice nod to Saga, where the Prismatic Ending does not hit Saga, but March of the Otherworldly Light does. Some of the sideboard cards, we've got some more creatures. I like Hushbringer a lot right now. I think Hushbringer is an interesting one. Teferi's Response for Wastelands. Slice and Dice, a classic old Brian Kelly Oath card. I don't know exactly when we'll be slicing and dicing, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Void Mirror. God, Void Mirror. Okay, yeah, I mean, and the basic planes to go with our Library of Alexandria Strip Mine deck. I'm excited. I do think this deck is interesting. This deck is definitely built in a way that means you have answers to everything. You just need to, you know, figure out how to get there, which makes for a pretty fun gameplay. And I think this version of the deck, which is a little bit more based in, what's the word? It's a little more pointed in trying to do a certain thing. And I've always tried to get Brian's decks to be a little more pointed. So we'll see how it goes. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Okay, here we go. Round 1 of this league. We're up against Chains. Chains has been playing a ton of Rug Oath. Let's see if that is still the case. I've got a cat. I have got 2 white cards, my 1 Volcanic Island, my Strip Mine. I have a Mental Misstep and a Mindbreak Trap, and my 1 red card. Brian, why have you done this to me? I can't imagine that this is a keep, knowing my opponent is likely to be on a controlling Oath deck, even if I was to play a slow Volcanic Island Strip Mine line. I just don't think this is good. This one looks much more feasible. I'm going to get rid of this Tolarian Academy with no artifacts. And we'll get a probe and see what my opponent's doing. Cathar Commando is a nice main deck answer to so much things that happen in Vintage right now, but also Oath of Druids. So let's see. What do you got for us, Chains? I assume Rug Oath. Oh, I assume Mental Misstep. All right, well, I'm going to play Tundra and pass the turn. I'm really hoping we don't get Wastelanded. Obviously, the Rug Oath deck plays 2 Wastelands and a Strip Mine sometimes. I know I played a list that has some more. All right. I'm a little worried of playing Jace because of Oath, but we might be able to flip the Jace before the Oath happens. So I don't know. The downside here is that my opponent can have Pyro, but now I don't know what we're supposed to fetch here because we do need white for Luris, but I also would like to have something in case we get Wasteland locked. I don't think we should worry about that. Let's just play Tundra Jace Verdant's Prodigy, a classic Vintage play. Okay, so I am going to get Pirate Blasted. That's pretty much the worst outcome, but I really disliked, like, Cathar Commando go, or, like, past Cathar Commando end of turn. I just wanted to have, like, this felt like a Jace into Time Walk. It just felt like a very powerful play, which I kind of wanted to do. My opponent is a little low on cards. They have 5 after this draw. My opponent did let me know that they are doing some other things at the same time, so we might have, you know, more time to talk about stuff in between plays, but we'll see what happens. So here comes the Wasteland. Not the end of the world. We do have a lot of lands here. I probably am... I have a Hushbringer in my main. Okay, I have a Hushbringer in my main. So I don't really want to cast this Hushbringer right now, because if I end up having to Cathar Commando and Oath of Druids, then I won't have the mana to do so. So I'm going to just Time Walk. I guess this could get Pyro to Flustered as well. I'd be interested in, like, obviously Lotus, but Lotus, even Fetch is, like, totally fine. I think Luris into my hand makes the most sense. Like, I don't think a Hushbringer is good against them. And I guess I don't have, like, an immediate Luris follow-up, but... I just feel like that's the way I want to progress this game. So it is Oath, and they do have Orchards. So I didn't know if they would play Orchards. All right, so now the question becomes, does my opponent have another Force in their hand for my Cathar Commando? About to find out. I guess I'll play this first. I don't have any more fetchables, so that's nice. Oath of Cathar Commando resolves. Beautiful. Destroy your Oath of Druids. Now I have looping Cathar Commandos, but I don't have looping Cathar Commandos next turn if they have a second Oath of Druids. My opponent just hit me with the, I wanted to test Cathar Commando and Jeskai as well. We're not going to tell them that we are, in fact, not exactly on a Jeskai Luris deck. Not exactly. My opponent conceded the game. I guess that means they have no further plays. That's interesting. Maybe they were worried about the Luris loop happening. We were pretty far away from doing anything spectacular, but I'll take it. All right, so if I'm playing against Oath of Druids, what would I bring in? Sorry, what would I bring in? I might bring in a Plains. I might bring in a Needle. I don't think you would bring in Slice and Dice to kill Oath tokens. Like, we're gonna have creatures in play. That's just kind of how it's gonna be. Don't think we worried like that. We might bring into Fairy's Response. Only for 2 Wastelands. That kind of seems like a little small. Like, I think Plains is like an easier card to bring in for Wastelands than this one. I think I would want my opponent to have the full 5 Wastelands if I was to bring this in. I'm not sure though. I could be totally wrong. Don't need to counter artifacts. I do think that this card is good. I don't think Hushbringer is good, and I think I might bring in swords as answers to the oath cards that come in. Sometimes you can actually just swords both of the oath targets and win, and I don't know what oath targets my opponent is playing this game. We do have Caracas, which is pretty good against some of the oath targets as well. So I'm thinking something like this. I'm thinking EE hits a 2, this hits a 2. I'm thinking this Dranith Magistrate probably doesn't help us. This Hushbringer doesn't help us. Balance probably doesn't help us. Either Spellbomb looks good. Lantern's probably not necessary. Skydiver's probably fine. Yeah, I mean, I like the look of this. I think I'm actually just going to take this Needle. Well, I kind of want to build a Needle Oko, to be honest. So maybe I will keep this Needle in. I still like Flusterstorm. Maybe I'll just have a Swords. Swords is a little sus as it is, but we'll see. Wait, this prelim ended up being 21 players. That's awesome. You love to see it. I think this one's fine. It's a little slow. Obviously, it's a little low power hand, but I have a Cathar Commando, so I'm not like super at risk of an Oath of Druids happening. And then I have some backup. Obviously, if I draw a bunch of lands in this hand, I'll be sad. I think one of the best cards I can draw might be just Library of Alexandria. That might just be the single best card I could draw here. Blue card's pretty good. Saga Gaming. I don't have a cage, unfortunately. Would I be interested in playing an early Saga? I don't think so. I probably should have played my Flooded Strand because my opponent could technically play a Pithing Needle. That was probably really bad. Does my opponent have Oath with Fluster backup here? I mean, what am I gonna do? I gotta play my cards out here. All right. Well, if I draw a Moxen, I still have Cathar Commando. So Moxens are all good. How many Moxen are in my deck? Full set. All right. So I got a bunch of draws that get me there. Let's see what we can find. Survey says EE. EE is actually going to be good enough because it's going to blow up the Spirit token. Good God. All right. Well, Brian Kelly strikes again. I just got an O. Is it actually Brian's list? It is. So I'm actually going to be able to delay the Oath a turn if this resolves, and then Cathar Commando the Oath. And I get the Mox Sapphire while I'm here. All right. So if my opponent finds Force backup, then we're still dead. But They didn't have force for this, so they have to find... Oh, they hit Wasteland. Wow, that's so good here. That also works. So now I kind of need to draw, again, Mox or Swords. I drew Flooded Strand number 4. All right, well, that's bad. All right, time to find out what card my opponent is putting into play here. Let's see. It is Sarah's Emissary, so we have tons of answers for this, actually. They're going to name instant. No, they're going to name creatures. So I have Swords to Plowshares, and I also have Aether Spellbomb off of my Saga. So I can destroy the Oath of Druids with my Cathar Commando and bounce the Sarah's Emissary. My God, Brian's deck is perfect. Who was I to question? Our Lord and Savior, BPK. I am just going to get a bunch of dual lands. I don't care. I guess... Oh, they drew Force. That is certainly an issue. I guess I should have played this in their upkeep. That exposes me to Oko, though. So if I had like a brain free or like a Underworld Breach, then we could maybe go for a kill. But I don't. If I get a Black Lotus, I could go get my Luris, get my Black Lotus. I think I'm just going to need to bounce this Sarah's Emissary this turn. I mean, once this goes into hand, they don't really have a way to get it back in their deck besides Brainstorm. So they're going to put a second Emissary out, but we do have a Swords in our deck to answer a second Emissary. So it's something. I kind of wish I had my second Swords in my deck. Maybe game 3. I didn't know if they were going to be playing Emissary or not. But I know that Chains and I have been talking about playing Emissary as the main target in like a controlling Rug Shell. So I have an Aether Spellbomb. All right, show me your hand. I got flustered. All right, I guess I will not be seeing their hand. Because I have to bounce this. I mean, I felt like it was better to cast this now. All right, so I will return the Sarah's Emissary to their hand and attack. And I'm still dead to the second Sarah's Emissary here. But at least I have outs. The Cathar Commando getting forced was a huge blunder. Maybe I was supposed to play the Cathar Commando in upkeep. I just thought that... I don't know. I just thought that... What did they just top deck? They just top deck Time Walk? What is this? Okay. I just thought that... I'm not sure. All right, so I would probably use this if I were them, just to put the Time Walk back in my deck. Maybe I am supposed to play Soul Guide Lantern then. Seems really narrow. I was just worried if I played my Cathar Commando, that exposed me to Oko, and they were probably more likely to have Oko than they just preordained into Ancestral. I mean, I guess. We're not dead here, but my opponent drawing an additional 3 cards was probably not good for me either. Like I said, if I draw Swords to Plowshares on this turn, my opponent hasn't drawn an answer, I think we just win with all these Spirit tokens in play. I'm definitely bringing in the second Swords in if they're playing Emissary, though. Maybe I take the Caracas out. I have a little bit of time, but not that much time. That is so late. So late. All right, so if I have actually Luris Spellbomb next turn. I mean, they just shuffle again. I am gonna go to 2, so I can only fetch 1. Oh my god, I can't I can't fetch twice. Wow. So even though I have Luris Spellbomb, I would have to draw additional mana because I'm at 9. That's really unfortunate. Oh, okay. Well, now I need to draw Black Lotus, probably. I guess LED also does it. So I have 2 draws. Now I don't because I'm going to get pinged. God. Ah, it's so frustrating. Yeah. Wait, no. Lotus still does it. So, though then I get pinged to death. Oh, no, I can kill this Renin 6. Okay, so Lotus does it, but LED no longer does it. All right. Wow, this just doesn't do it, right? Because of the 1 life. Because I... Wow. I'm going to play this Krakus so that they don't board in legendaries. This has pro creatures. All right. We got. That was a really close game, actually. Unless I missed something, which could happen. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to take the second swords into my deck here. And then I actually think that this spirit is probably still fine. I still like needle on spell on... I'm just going to take out this Caracas. I don't think we need it anymore. All right. So, I mean, I think I like my shots here. I have lots of good answers. Especially if they're on Emissary. We didn't show them swords either, so... That's unfortunate. The Renin 6 actually saved the day. If my opponent didn't top deck Preordain into Ancestral, I actually think we probably win that game with either Spellbomb loop. That's crazy. And it's possible we could have won that game in a different way, and I just wasn't aware, right? All right, so this intuition right now, normally I can do things like LED Lotus Savine's Reclamation if I have like a Breach in hand or a Freeze in hand. I could do like, technically I could do Breach, Lotus. If I have like a Savine's in hand, I can do like Breach, Lotus, Brain Freeze. And then there's obviously lots of like anti-oath lines we can take. I mean, we're probably gonna take something here. We got to use our mana at some point. So I'm probably going to take some kind of line. I don't know what it will be, though. Something that uses the graveyard well. I mean, this just gets countered, though. So I think we're going to wait till I can have at least Flusterstorm open. Jace. Think Jace is worse than casting Intuition? I don't really want to play a spell on my turn right now with my opponent just holding open mana. I mean, I'm tipping my opponent off that I have interaction by not bringing Lurrus back into my hand, so... I do think I will... I guess I'm not going to Flusterstorm this. I mean, it would stop them from getting their fetch, but I don't think that's worth it. All right. Well, brainstorm into a fetch here is definitely one of the best plays they could possibly make. This is going to be very saddening if they just slam Oath. But at least we have a backup plan. It's not a great backup plan, but it's a backup plan. We might be able to chain 2 intuitions into a breach kill somehow. F3, 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 F3. Was this time walk? Oh, second Oath. This is all fine. All right, so can we figure out a way? Now, this is going to be a real test of my my brain. Intuition targeting you resolves. All right, so they pick a card and it goes to my hand. So if I get Underworld Breach, Black Lotus Savine's Reclamation, then they put the Black Lotus or the Savine's Reclamation in my hand. I don't have that many cards in my yard, though. I guess I can put an EE in here as well, right? So I can actually go like Engineered Explosives, Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach, maybe. Though EE I can't protect with Fluster, so that's kind of annoying. EE cleanly answers both oaths, but I don't have a land for it. So if I go I mean, I could just go EE Lotus Savine's Reclamation. No, because I can't Savine's Reclamation back my Engineered Explosives. So that doesn't work. I think I want... I mean, what if I go Black Lotus LED Savine's Reclamation to get me 1,000,000 mana? And then I Intuition for... I feel like it's something to do with Lotuses and Savines. I just don't know. It's really hard. Sorry. Trying to... I should have probably looked at this before. So I think I am just going to put... Well, then they put Brain Freeze in my hand. So I'm just going to put Black Lotus, Savines, and Breach to start. Oh, but I didn't bring in Lantern. I'm an idiot. I didn't bring in Lantern, so I actually can't kill this way, right? To beat Gaia's Blessing, I need Lantern. I guess I can counter myself and then mill and then use Ancestral. So I guess I don't need it, right? Because Gaia's Blessing's a trigger, so I can mill them, counter my breach. And so if I activate the combo, I'm actually fine. All right, so they gave me Black Lotus. So I have Savine's Reclamation for Black Lotus Breach. We just need to be able to Intuition for the rest of the combo. The fetch land is probably a really good draw as well. All right, so I have Black Lotus. And then I cast white. And I cast Savine's Reclamation on Reach. And yes, and bring back Lotus. I mean, I have another intuition in my yard, but I have another intuition in my hand as well. So intuition, target you, and then I just get brain freeze. All right, GG's. Oh boy, I don't know if that was optimal, but they had Beseiju Fluster. Wow. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think they can wait. I think like I would maybe just go Narset, hold open Flusterstorm things. Ah. I'm just talking with my opponent about their possible lines. They're super worried about like Cathar Commando, lures, loops, and things like that. All right, well, that's round one. That was pretty cool. Let's try it again next round. Why am I trying it again next round? We're winning. Let's do it again next round. All right, on to round two of this prelim with the Brian Kelly deck. We're up against Sandy Dog. Sandy Dog has been playing Oops All Spells, Mono White, and Combo Jewel Shops. All of those matchups would probably be better if we had a second Mindbreak Trap in our deck, but we'll see what we can do. This hand has no turn one force. This is something I'm really looking for as a turn one force against all of Sandy's range of decks. Usually turn one forces usually required. Sandy loves to play things that are doing broken turn one nonsense. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I'd really be interested in finding a force. I think I'm gonna keep this. I don't know. I really just think Sandy's gonna turn one me, and I really just want to find a force. I don't think this covers a wide enough range. Like even if I put back Commando, I have like turn one steal a box, or like blow up their and mine lands, or like bounce a mono white creature, but I think that's just not good enough. Okay, this hand's great. Or not great, but this hand is a hand. I'm gonna get rid of this library, and I'm gonna get rid of. So do I think they're on Oops, or do I think they're on Jewel Shops? I think I'm gonna get rid of the Lantern. This also gives me double counter. So if they're on mono white, we're probably gonna lose this game. But if they're on Oops or Jewel, then I think we have a we're in a better spot. Okay, so they are on Oops, so I like what I did. Well, I don't exactly like what I did because I would really like a Lantern against this deck. It's possible I could have maybe cut Island for it, but getting to Mental Misstep this and then Wasteland their thing is going to be very, very good for us. So, I mean, something you can gain from playing, the same player a lot is you're going to know what deck they're likely to choose. And this is not a Magic Online only thing. Like if you play the same FNM every week and you know your opponent's going to show up with a certain deck, then you get some amount of leeway in mulliganing towards a specific hand. So Sandy definitely loses some amount of value there. Definitely would have liked to be able to misstep that Mana Vault, but obviously that didn't happen. We have to strip mine this Black Source, so they can't do any more Black Source things. And that will leave them on 2 cards and 4 mana. They do have blue mana, but we have a forcible backup, so unless their card is like They have a spy and a black source and a pact. We shouldn't die this turn. It's very unlikely for them to have another black source too, so it puts us in a decent spot. Just gonna fetch this now and save myself some effort here. Maybe I'm supposed to play Volcanic to represent Pyro, but maybe that might be slightly better. I didn't want to. Oh, I actually can play Hilarious, actually. Oh, they've hit a blue, but a blue probably doesn't help them very much. A blue does help them. What does that do? So the downside of getting Luris here is that I can't hold open. Is there any ETBs? So dying stops. Wait, this stops both, right? Does this really stop both? Analysis supplies an ETB and Undercity Informer is a sack. It might just stop both. That would be nuts. I don't. So Undercity Informer is a creature dying, but I don't know if it's the dying that's causing the ability. I don't think it is, because it's a sack. A creature is part of the cost to active. It's just an activated ability. It's not a dying trigger. So I think this only is stopping Spy, but not Undercity Informer. I think. Hmm. Oh, but this does stop Thassa's Oracle, so I don't know why I'm even thinking that far ahead. It also stops Thassa's Oracle, so all right. This card is nuts. Wait a second. Hold up. Brian Kelly's the smartest person ever. How many times are we gonna say that in this? That's so nuts. This art's really crazy. Okay, so yeah, so I think I am correct that it will stop just the ETBs, and I don't think it would stop Undercity Informer, but I guess we'll find out maybe. Who knows? I mean, there's no point in them activating Undercity Informer because it will stop Oracle, so. Okay, so here's an Undercity Informer, banking black mana, getting Demonic Tutor, which I can't fluster, but I can force. I think I just let them tutor for Charbelcher and then counter it. Because I can't fluster this successfully, so they can get Charbelcher here. They might have Pact back up, but they can't pay for Pact. Oh, they went for Ancestral. That's super good for me. No, they went for Charbelcher. They went for Tinker. What do they have to maybe Tinker for Charbelcher? All right, well, the good news here is I have Fluster for this, which is even better, and then I can drop blue card for Force. Even if they had Pact back up, Fluster beats that. So if they had a Pact, I guess they wouldn't be able to pay for it if they played Charbelcher, so. All right, so I did not draw a blue card, so I am gonna play a Saga and get my Luris and attack. My opponent still has some mana here, so if they hit like land Charbelcher, the game isn't over. We definitely just want to hit blue card and make constructs. We hit blue card. I'm not going to cast this probe. I want to hold up force. All right, so we get to make two constructs, and then we have a needle in our main, so we can just needle Charbelcher, and then this game is over. What is this? A Narcomoeba. Sure, that blocks. Oh god, Skydiver? Is that actually better? I could get Lotus and skydive the Moxen. Or I could just skydive the Moxen anyways and get... Oh, I don't have a needle in the main. Huh. I thought for sure I had a needle in the main. I guess I can get Black Lotus and go Luris, Lotus, Luris, skydive. I mean, it might be better to just get Soul Guide. I don't really know. Luris, Lotus, skydive with kicker. What? Oh, I don't have ETBs. I'm so bad. I'm stupid. Of course, I forgot the classic Hushbringer Skydiver non-bow. I could have held open Hardcast Force of Will here instead of paying the kicker on this. I think this play was worse than getting a construct. So I'm an idiot. What can I say? I'm learning. All right, so my opponent is... we're going to Void Mirror them. We're going to Needle them. We're going to Lantern them. We are going to Surgical them. We are going to Steel Sabotage them. We are going to... Hushbringer seemed pretty good. We're going to Hushbringer them. And then I like EE. I don't mind Otherworldly Light. We'll see. I don't think I care about Breach combo at all. I don't know how much I can take out, per se, but... Dranith Magistrate. Can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. That actually stops Dread Return. So I will leave in Dranith Magistrate. I'm going to leave in Commando. I'm going to take out Balance. I'm going to take out Spellbomb. Though Spellbomb answers a Tinker target. I don't know if these lists have been playing a Tinker target anymore. I'm just going to go look at the last Medivh list. I can't say it still. Medvedev. That's the one. Medvedev. We'll look at the last Medvedev list, which has none. Bunch of slaughter packs, though. Flusterstorm is, like, not amazing, but it's fine. I think I'm just going to take out Breach combo. Take out, like, some of the worst cards here. This seems pretty reasonable play. And then I think Intuition should still be fine because we have so many hate pieces. So I think the rest of this is fine. Let's try this. I don't know if that's what Brian would do in this matchup, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. See what happens. All right, so I have a Luris. I have a Surgical and multiple Soul Guides. So this is only really bad against a Charbelcher. So it's probably worth keeping. I have a turn 1 interaction for 0 mana if they go for it, so... obviously, if they have turn 1 kill with force backup, we die. But I think that's okay. I think you should be accepting hands that... any hand that has a turn 0 interaction is probably worth keeping. We also have a cool opportunity if they have a huge Moxen heavy hand where we could go like Sapphire, Soul Ring, EE on 0, blow it up. We lose our Sapphire, but we still have Soul Ring for our Lanterns. I think that's actually okay as well. It's been a really interesting... games, actually, at least from my side. I think all the games are going to be interesting from my side because that's how the deck is built, but my opponent is on their 7 and they kept. So what does it mean? What does it mean? All right, so Mana Crypt is leading towards the EE plan. Let's see what else they have for us. Like I said, we do die to turn 1 kill with force backup or for pack backup. There's not much we can do in that situation. Like, we could obviously mulligan to double interaction, but mulliganing to double interaction is a little silly, especially when we have a pretty solid graveyard contingent here. And then obviously this E should be pretty good. If they were to play like the guy and pass the turn. I guess then we would probably just play double lantern, so maybe that's not the case. Let's see if they exile a blue card or a black card here. I would assume a black card, but depends on what they're casting. Obviously, our hand is like incredibly weak to... It is a blue card. It's kind of weak to Charbelcher, except for the E. It's pretty weak to Ancestral, too, unfortunately. Not much I can do about it. Draw 3. They did, you know, pitch 2 cards to draw 3 cards, so it's not like the end of the world. They did hit a black source. Does that mean something happening? I can see what's happening. March, if we hit white sources, can also hit 0 drops. Another blue source. That definitely makes my EE plan a little worse. Are they going to go for a spy? Looks like it. All right, so... Oh, they went for a Charbelcher. Okay. So I can still hit all their mana sources. There's no reason to surgical for information because we don't have any counterplay. We can't beat Force or Pact. Can't beat either because we don't have a blue card. So even if we were to draw a Force, we could not win. I'm not going to cast Surgical. I also don't want to show Sandy that I'm on Surgical. So it's really going to come down to, do they have Pact or Force in their remaining 3 cards? And then even if I do use my EE, they can still hit mana for this Charbelcher. It's going to be pretty hard for me to get 4 colors of mana. Especially with my Sapphire going away. So I'd probably have to hit, like, Needle or something. All right. So Sapphire. I think I'm going to play Soul Ring first. It runs into Mindbreak Trap, but it helps play around Misstep. Like, if I play Sapphire EE, then they're going to misstep this for sure. But if I just play Soul Ring, then maybe they don't misstep it. Like I say, though, like if they have a counterspell, we are losing this game. I still think I like my hand with turn 0, graveyard-based interaction, and tons of follow-up. Like maybe I don't keep this hand if I don't have the EE, because then it's all graveyard interaction and no way to interact with Charbelcher. Obviously, if they had like a Lotus or LED, they would have killed me with Charbelcher. But that's like a pretty ridiculous, not ridiculous, but like a a top of the line hand for them to have. Like they had Ancestral, they had Mana Crypt. It's all pretty good. That resolved fairly quick, so let's see if I can do this. That just didn't resolve quick, though. So Pact works because with the trigger on the stack, they can just shoot me for 20. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, they had Force plus Pact. Okay, so they were, they had the nuts draw, basically. I'm not going to show them any... Well, what if I draw... What can I draw off of Lantern? Oh, I guess... Wait a second. If I draw a white card, this is not Prismatic Ending. So this costs 2 less. So I can't actually draw out of this with a Lotus, right? I'm sorry. I almost just threw this game. Or threw away the chance of winning this game. Because if I hit a Lotus, it's 2, and then Hushbringer is 4, and I can actually hit the Charbelcher. And they pitched Pact, so unless their hand was forcible, Pact. This should work. We could also... No, it's like kind of the only thing we can hit, right? Is just Lotus. I can't think of anything else that would work. I guess we could technically hit Tolarian Academy, and then... Lantern into another draw for a Lotus. That's a rebuy. Unfortunately, Sandy Dog is probably playing like 2 arena matches at the same time here, so... all right, so I'm drawing to Lotus. Strip Mine. Unfortunately, Strip Mine is not enough. All right, well, I'm going to Strip Mine them, and I'm going to let them Charbelch so I can see their deck post-board. Definitely want to see how they boarded. All right, so there is Tinker Citadel. And there's still the graveyard cards. And there's 1, 2 chains, and they kept in 1, 2, 3, all 4 packs on the play. I don't know if they'll keep in all 4 packs on the draw. And then 1, 2, 3, all 4 Charbelchers. Okay. All right, so I definitely don't have to worry about bringing in any creature removal, so this looks good. My opponent had it, but now we get to be on the play. We have some solid things like Void Mirror, so we can turn 1. Obviously, turning 1ing a Hushbringer or a Magistrate's pretty reasonable. They do have 4 Charbelchers, though, and we only have the 1 Needle, so there's also that. But we have a pretty good set of interaction here. I'll be pretty sad to lose this game. I feel like we have a lot. Like, we don't have, like, the knockout punches, but we have a lot of the good stuff, so... All right. We'll be right back. Okay, still round 2, but game 3 versus the Sandy Dog. We're gonna need some counter magic here, or early... yeah, that's a hand I'm going to keep. This hand, unfortunately, is still really bad against Charbelcher. But I don't think I am allowed... I might actually not play Soul Guide Lantern. I know that's pretty silly. But what it does is it lets me play Flusterstorm without using my Lotus, and also maybe incentivizes a graveyard attack with Surgical Fluster open. I don't know if that's right, but that's my gut instinct here is if I play a Lantern and they just let it resolve, it's pretty bad for me. Like, oh my god. Well, time to find out how good this is. I mean, they kept a 7-card hand, so I guess we could just die again. 1 Narcomoeba. Blue. This is going to be Tinker. Tinker's also really bad for me, I think. Well, I think Fluster should usually work against Tinker. I don't think they have their own Flusters, right? So Fluster might be good against Tinker here, if that's what they're going to go. But if they just play Charbelcher, like, we're so screwed again. I really hope they don't play Charbelcher. Like, I'm never going to mulligan this hand against Oops All Spells, so... All right, so they shouldn't be able to beat this. Or not beat this, but they shouldn't be able to deal with this. And that uses almost all their mana. So that should put us in a good spot. Flusterstorm is a hell of a magic card. Ah, they're off it. Okay. They went all in their play. They probably had counter backup, but they just couldn't beat Fluster. All right, I'll take it. All right, now we're back for round 3. Probably gonna be Pio across the table. With or without Sagas, not sure. This hand does short a blue card, but I think I'm interested in this. This is an instant. Could always cantrip into a blue card as well. Could always just put Luris in our hand, but that does, like, we can't cast Luris anyways, so I don't think that's a really strong play. I think I like hold up March, play Spellbomb. I don't know. I mean, this feels like it should be a keep, but we can always just cycle the Spellbomb too, which I probably will do. See what happens. All right, so I have a bunch of my red mana, 2 of like my 3 red mana sources. And I'm gonna play a Spellbomb. So this lets me hold open blue and white, and we have March, and we have Spellbomb, and oh, it's gonna be right. Actually, I knew this. I'm an idiot. Oh, of course they're playing this. All right. So they're going to be playing Cradlevine, like Aggro Bazaar, Hogak style deck, which makes my draw worse, probably. I guess worse. I mean, I think I'm still always keeping this. They found a Bazaar off of there. Once Upon a Time is pretty good. A Spellbomb Loop could be good if we can get to that point in life. So if I had realized that they were on Cradlevine, I may have just put Luris in my hand, to be honest. But I mixed up what I thought my opponent was going to be on. All right, so I probably am going to bounce this Vengevine to hand. It's not particularly a strong play. I guess I theoretically could get up to the mana needed to otherworldly light this Vengevine, but maybe we'll do that later. Kind of want to buy as much time as possible here, and this feels like I can't ever Aether Spellbomb a Collector Roof anyways, so... Which is something I need to worry about. Maybe I have to hold up March of the Otherworldly Life for Collector Oof. I'd like to just maybe draw a blue card for Force. Oh, man. Yeah. That is something I was worried about, for sure. I can't even reclaim them because we're in my upkeep. I think I'm just going to use the mana and get rid of this Rootwalla. How do I do this? I don't understand. Oh, weird. Okay. I think I'm going to lose this game. My opponent kept a 7-card Bazaar hand. I got my 2 Moxen Vigored. I used my Spellbomb kind of maybe not. I really wish I had cycled Spellbomb and cast Ancestral on their end step. That would have been so much better. Damn. Okay. If I had just taken 4, we would just be in such a better spot. Like, especially if our 4th card down was a blue card, and then we could force them. Yeah, I think I just made a huge mistake this game. I thought that the time bought with Spellbomb would be good, but I definitely regret that now. Yeah, I regret that a lot. I should have just drawn. Okay. Good to know. I mean, Ancestral was like one of the few things that's like really, really good to do that. So they didn't pitch the Rootwalla? Wait, what happened? They pitched Cradle Bazaar. Oh, they want to play Collector Roof, I assume. Okay. Wait, so then why didn't they pitch the Vengevine? Or did they pitch the Vengevine to the... They didn't pitch the Vengevine to the Vigor. Ah, opponent did misclicked and did mean to put Vengevine in play. All right. I don't think we're in a bad spot, actually, because of the balance. Underworld Breach is definitely on the interesting side of things. But I can't do much with it right now because I can't use artifact mana. All right, so I need to draw a white source that is not an artifact white source. The opponent is almost to hard casting Vine. We have some time. If we get a good balance off in this game, feels like we're in a good spot. The balance will kill the oof. Turn off the cradle. Wow, they still have another Vine coming in here. Wow. Yeah. All right. So we need to draw fetch land this turn. If we draw fetch land this turn, I think we are probably winning the game. If we don't draw fetch land this turn, we are losing this game. 4, 8, 4, 8, 10. Yeah. So I need to draw fetch land right now. If I draw fetch land, I think we're winning. I hate Urza's Saga so much. I truly hate Urza Saga. So this is for, yeah, so we die. We have balance in our hand and we're gonna die because my mana base in my deck is Library of Alexandria, one Volcanic Island, one Saga. This is what I was worried about when I played it. Like, if we just have a normal mana base, this is a fetch land. Okay, that's fine. Again, I do think that the Aether Spellbomb problem was maybe the reason we lost this game, so... It's okay. But if we just, like, have a fetch land, we can just play a balance. Like, oh my god, that's Layer in Academy. We can just play a balance and we're super okay. Brian's mana bases always leave me a bit on the bewildered side of things. Let's bring in a Spirit of the Labyrinth. Let's bring in Swords to Plowshares. Let's bring in Teferi's Response. I don't know. Probably Teferi's Response. Probably Surgical. Probably Slice and Dice. This would counter Hollow One, Hogak. Okay, this counters a lot of things. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, these are all classic 10, 11 card sideboard here for our Brian. So it's weird because I saw Brian keep in, oh, maybe that was game 1. I watched Brian versus Mike Noble in the High Roller Vintage event at Champs. And I remember him breach killing Mike, but that was game 1, I think. So I'm pretty sure breach should just come out. Can't cast spells anywhere. So this stops Root Wallas and Graveyard. It's probably fine. Hushbringer, I don't think does anything for me. Thought Commando is good. I wonder if you're supposed to trap. Probably not. I actually think Spellbomb is probably not good. Top doesn't seem like something we need. Don't think we want a Library of Alexandria. I mean, I don't know how many of these flusters we actually want. They only hit they only hit Vigor, and like I guess post board Vigor gets a little bit better against us. I don't know exactly what we'll be intuitioning for. Maybe we'll just take out intuition. I mean, we're bringing in so many pieces. Should be fine, right? I have no idea if this is correct. Don't say that this is the correct sideboarding plan. I have no idea. That's something we have to ask Brian for sure. But I mean, I definitely think all of these cards are reasonable in the matchup. It might not be like a Teferi's Response matchup, but maybe on the play it's okay. I guess we don't really need Peak, but how many blue cards do we have? Force of Will might just be incredibly bad. I mean, I have Strip Mine, Soul Guide. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do this. I think I'm gonna get a basic island so that I don't get vigored on my Soul Guide and my Saga. So the problem with this hand is hollow one. Or just like a... Yeah, the only real issue with this hand is hollow one. Don't know what I can do about it. But we can strip mine Bazaar, maybe... Yeah, this hand is just weak to hollow one. So if we can... Yeah, okay. But I mean, I have my one strip mine against this deck. I probably have to always keep this. Maybe Lantern is not actually good, so they're just gonna go for turn one Collector Oof. Okay. It's kind of bad for me, right? Them having Mox is kind of unfortunate. I think this is still fine. All right, now we're Saga Gaming for sure. Not gonna play a Lantern. It might have some utility later. If they like leave a Vengevine in the yard. It's possible Lantern's just not good in this matchup too. That could definitely be the case. All right, they're just gonna go fair game plan. Saga should be decent here as long as if I don't get Vigored, right? And this doesn't find Vigor, so... I don't want to strip mine Gaia's Cradle, probably. Well, it depends, I guess, what this Once Upon a Time finds. I really probably want to make constructs. They have their own strip mine, so we're only going to be able to make one construct, which means we should just play our second Saga out. No, because then they just hit the second Saga, and then I don't get two constructs. Unless because I can't do a Moxen, so yeah. Okay, so we've drawn another land. Pretty sure maybe I didn't want to crack this. I just wanted to get both the basics, but that could be wrong. All right, so I'm going to take... I mean, the Soul Guide Lantern in play is actually going to make this Saga good, which is nice. All these things are dual lands because of this Yavimaya. All right, so they can attack with Root Wall and Pump, but they can't attack with Collector Roof anymore. They have 3 cards in hand. Then I follow up with Saga and another Lantern so that I can get close to blocking this Root Walla. Just a very anemic game of Magic the Gathering is happening because sideboarding. Okay. Black Lotus. So I'm definitely not going to play that. I don't want to show that. I guess I theoretically could, instead of playing Soul Guide Lantern, just get my Luris. That might even be better. Because I'm not blocking the Root Walla as a 3/3 anyways. Oh, I could have played Lotus and Soul Guide Lantern and then been able to block the whole board. I'm stupid. I'm really bad. This could still be right, to be fair. We have the ability to play Luris next turn if we want. Oh my god. All right, well, now I'm going to have to strip mine this Gaia's Cradle. Because I can't really beat that thing. Oh no, they have double. We're just going to die to Hex Drinker. Oh, no, they're playing Vengevine. Interesting. And getting in there. Okay. I have to take this. I'm also going to have to strip mine, aren't I? Well, no, I can play Luris if I fetch. Ooh, Caracas. Okay, I could just go strip mine and make a pair of 4/4s, which blocks this and this. Then I die, right? Mother. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I have to strip mine, right? Getting Luris to my hand might have really thrown the game, because if I had played Soul Guide Lantern, I take 2 less damage, 3 less damage. I guess if I play Lurrus and I play Soul Guide Lantern, I have a 4/4 and a thing. They pump 5 times to a 4. I have to strip mine. All right, we're just gonna have to block this turn. Is what we're gonna have to do. I guess they don't have pump anymore. We have 2 4/4s. Okay, it is what it is. I can't help but think I threw this game horribly. I think the Lurrus getting, instead of playing Soul Guide, was really bad for me. Kind of a hard call to make, but... The good news, we don't have to fetch. We can just play Caracas to play our Lurrus, though I guess maybe... Yeah, there's no world where we can actually do anything there. Are they going to attack all, or are they going to hold back? Holding back puts them pretty far behind. I think I just have to snap off a block on this. Let me just, in case they have like a Nature's Claim or something. I don't know. All right, so the question now is going to be, okay, level up Hex Shrinker. I think that, I don't know if I like playing the Vengevine instead of just pumping Hex Shrinker a million times. So the question is going to be, do we make another construct? The answer's got to be yes. The problem is, that's a little late, I think. Construct. Do I have a needle? I have a needle. Okay, so I can get a needle and needle Hex Shrinker. So what I really need to be worried about is Force of Vigor now, maybe? I don't have any in their yard. I'm just going to play this Caracas and make another Soul Guide to get rid of this Vengevine. Am I attacking yet? No, I'm not attacking yet. Okay, and then I have a rebuy on my... I have a... Not rebuy, but I have Lurrus coming. I can rebuy nothing because of this Collector Roof. I do have multiple swords for this Collector Roof. If I ever hit a swords, I just win the game on the spot, I would assume. Lotus, Lurrus. Nonsense. Jace Prodigy. Or play Lurrus. I think I fetch and play Lurrus with Caracas up. No. What does Void Mirror even get me at this point? Not much. It stops like a Hogak. It stops like hollow, like Bazaar into hollow ones. All right, maybe I will do that then. Maybe I'll just tap this and this and play Void Mirror. And then I will play a Jace. And then we can flip our Jace. I just want to find a Flusterstorm for... Maybe I'm supposed to attack. Because they can't bring back... Nah... I guess all the ways this goes badly for me involve... No, if they draw a land, it's still a pretty good attack for them. I think I'm off that. Unless I get a Lurrus in play. Once I get a Lurrus in play, then I think we're okay. But this at least turns off Hollow One and Hogak. Wasteland. This lets them pump a Rootwalla, but they can't... Pumping Rootwalla doesn't do anything right now. Play another Collector Roof. Okay, now Sword. I mean, Sword still does it because of Jace. They're going really wide, and I'm really low life total, though. I found Swords. Okay, so this is easy. This is Swords, your Collector Roof. Activate Jace. Swords, Collector Roof. Oh, I can't... I gotta be careful, because I can't Lotus with Lurrus because of my stupid Void Mirror. I'm still gonna play it, obviously. I can loop Soul Guides, but I can't loop Lotus. I guess it's better than playing a Draenith Magistrate. I guess at this point I am going to attack. I can actually cycle another Soul Guide later. Okay, I don't think I played that optimally, but I think it's okay. Oh, Void Mirror also stops Force of Vigor. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent's plan is now. They can actually get a land, I guess, and hard cast Vigor. Yeah. I don't think I played that game very well. I'm going to be honest with you right now, chat. Which doesn't exist. There is no chat. Okay. I wonder if you're supposed to bring in Mindbreak Trap. I feel like I've been Mindbreak Trapped by... Like, these forces are so low, right? How many blue cards are in my deck? This can't be a Force of Will matchup. Let's bring in Mindbreak Trap and Intuition. And I guess we'll just keep... I really don't want to bring in Brain Freeze combo. Maybe we'll just keep in the Spell Bomb. Or maybe we'll keep in Library on the draw. I feel like Library is so bad, but we'll try it. I just can't imagine we're supposed to be forcing, because forcing, one, is not even that strong of a play, and two, we just have no blue cards in our deck. So this hand has Saga. I can't keep this hand. It's just too weak. This hand has the Mindbreak Trap and Saga and no white source. I think this is a keep, but I'm going to be super sad about it, I think. Okay. We need to draw a white source in this hand, for sure. We're also, like, super susceptible to Vigor with this hand. If this was Force, would it have been better? No. But, I mean, I have answers to a lot of the things that are happening. I'm so bad against Vigor, though. Maybe I have to. I guess if I draw Fluster, then I have Saga Soul Ring Fluster. I guess this hand actually puts Lurrus into my hand right away, but it doesn't have a Lotus, so it doesn't matter. I guess if I draw a Lotus. I feel like this deck has evoked a lot of, what if we draw a Lotus? Which is not a good sign. Not a great sign at all, I would say. All right, so here is one Rootwalla. So that means there's at least a hollow one coming for this Vengevine. Oh! I can't hit that because it's the second spell. So I can hit their Hex Drinker. Oh, and they have no follow-up? Interesting. Maybe they're playing around playing around Mindbreak Trap. I drew another Cathar Commando. Can I get away with, like, Saga Go instead of getting Obliterate? I'm gonna get oofed is what I'm gonna get. What do I lose if I wait? I'm not gonna play any Moxen. That way, if they have Vigor and they choose to use it, I can go still draw a white source and go Sapphire, play something. I really needed to draw anything but this Cathar Commando, probably. Don't really know how I'm winning this game. Especially if they play a Collector Roof here. Attack? What are they doing? I would have definitely activated. That must mean they have Vigor, right? I think they have Vigor then. We really need to draw our own land. That way we can play Sapphire and then like a non-fetch land. Like we can play our land and then still get a construct. Maybe that doesn't matter. I just think we just need a white source, obviously. Okay, so it is going to be... Oh, Beseiju. Thank God. That's so good for us. I can't... That's so good for us. I'm going to get the basic planes. I could cast Cathar Commando here, but I think I'd rather get a Spirit of the Labyrinth in play. I think they still have Vigor too, but... Maybe they have Misstep. That'd be interesting. I guess getting Vigored on my Spirit is a little rough, but at least we have a Plains now. Is this Misstep? Cool, that's so good for us too. Now my Swords doesn't get countered. All right, so if their last two cards are green card Vigor, it's definitely annoying. Somehow, I think we're in this game, and I don't think it's because of my deck. I'm pretty sure it's a Dismember. I'm pretty sure my opponent Besejuing me there was really sus. This Mindbreak Trap is also really sus. Okay. So they had Dismember, Beseju, Misstep, which was they held everything up. They're just not activating Bazaar. Do they have a land drop? Like land drop Vigor me? That'd be pretty good. Still have a Swords and a Cathar Commando, though. Nothing. Okay. Island again. Now I have Hardcast Mindbreak Trap. Okay, I don't have the ability to play Lurrus anyway, so I think I'm going to hold up Mindbreak Trap Commando and Swords. If they were to Vigor me right now... 3, 4... I still think I would rather have my Swords. So I'm going to just use this opportunity to cast this Mindbreak Trap here. Which is ridiculous, of course, but I am doing it. So right now, a Soul Guide Lantern is actually pretty good. Just hitting this Vengevine. They haven't activated Bazaar in a few turns. They've had a really fair game plan here. Wasteland can't hit either of my basics. They have a Hex Shrinker, which... Oh my god, they have just enough to give it Pro Instance. That is a nightmare. That is an absolute nightmare situation. Now I have to draw Balance. That's so brutal for me. I guess I should have held open Mindbreak Trap for this Hex Shrinker. I was not playing around. Oh, come on, Justin. Okay. I guess I should have held open. I should not have countered. I did not think about Hex Shrinker add 3 off of land. They should be activating this in upkeep. Well, maybe not, because they can hardcast fine. Activating it now doesn't do anything. You should just be pumping your Hex Shrinker, probably. Well, I mean, they hit a Root Walla, so that's something. Let's show off my mental misstep. All right. We're in trouble for sure. I think I can't even play this Cathar Commando because I guess I can sacrifice it at any time to... we have engineered explosives, right? So we have answers. Oh, maybe I was actually supposed to block there. Why don't we pump this? What are we holding up? Because now it's a 2-turn clock off of Hex Shrinker, so maybe I was supposed to block. I mean, I have answers, but I just don't think we're going to draw them here. I guess I have Swords my own guy, which is a little bit on the weird side. Yeah, I probably should have blocked. All right, so I need to draw EE. I also have intuition for EE. Intuition for like Savine's EE Lotus. God, this Hex Drinker play is gonna haunt me forever. I could have just held open Mindbreak Trap, but I just didn't. I did not think about land Hex Drinker as what was gonna kill me. Poor vision from Justin. Just this one? Okay. At least this buys me a turn, because I'm gonna be able to swords. I'm probably gonna swords now to buy me a turn. All right, what do I need? Lotus is a good start, but EE, Intuition, those are the cards I'm looking for. March of the Otherworldly Light is an instant. Prismatic Ending is not... Oh, I guess that's pro everything, so it doesn't really matter. I also don't have white for Luris, which is very unfortunate. Okay, I mean, I think I threw this game. I didn't really... I didn't give the Mindbreak Trap the due consideration. Maybe... I don't know. It felt like a really good use of Mindbreak Trap, and my opponent hadn't cast any spells. They just hadn't cast any spells at all. They hit another Root Wallow with these bizarre activates at one light or at one card. It's really lucky, unless they had the Root Wallow in hand, I guess. Oh my god, it triggers Vengevine. I am in pain. I am in so much pain. I'm not actually dead, which is hilarious, because I have March of the Otherworldly Light, not Prismatic Ending. And I can cast this, targeting this, pitching my Luris. And this is now 4. Done. Okay, I can still draw exactly balance. Actually, also EE works. So I have a couple draws. I have balance and I have EE. Wow. I feel like we have all the answers in our deck, but there's no way to find our answers. I mean, intuition finds them, but it's too late now, right? Oh my god. All right. So I am going to... Yeah, I'm just going to cast this. I was wondering if I was gonna like Flusterstorm myself to get cards out of their hand, but I don't have any reason to do that. Okay, so the game continues, and they're gonna have an active Bazaar and a bunch of mana, and a Vengevine is actually exiled, and they lost their Wasteland. I mean, we're at parity. I'm at 2, so I am dead to future Root Wallows. I think they should probably activate Upkeep here. Gives them a chance of hitting Root Wallows. That turns off Endurances. I don't know how many Endurances are in their deck. They should not activate here because it's just pitches cards. Unless, of course, they have double Root Wallow, in which case they should always activate there. Come on! That's ridiculous. If they had activated in their upkeep, they might have hit double Root Wallow and drawn Hex Drinker and played it. Okay, well, now I need a creature or a removal spell. Soul Guide Lantern, huh? Justin. All right, so I still have lots of creatures and removal spells to draw to. That's neither. Wow. All right. So I played badly. I think it's possible there were some sequencing optimizations from the opponent's side as well, but pretty cool games. Definitely interactive games. I think this game was mostly lost for my side because I cast Mindbreak Trap on Endurance instead of casting Mindbreak Trap on the... I mean, I didn't know about the Hex Drinker, but I think it's something I can infer, maybe. All right, here we go now. We're in the 4th and final round of this prelim. I really need to win because I need I need some QPs. Ooh, what is this? Did not mean to do that. I think last round I could have played, significantly better. Would have definitely given me a better chance. Let's see if we can't play better this time. Luris. Why are all my hands Saga Gaming? What did I do to deserve this? I think this is a keeper, though. It's really hard to pass up Force Saga Crypt. I don't know what Hope is playing these days. Hope used to play some Aggro Bazaar, Hogak. Used to only play Hogak. But I think I remember seeing them on something else. So if they have a Wasteland for my Saga, things get bad. But if they only have like Vigor, have Force, and this looks like a pretty decent Saga hand, the creatures will be kind of large. A question will end up being... Oh, actually, I don't have that question. I was going to say a question will end up being... I probably should lead top. I was going to say, do I need to spin top? But I don't. Do I need to choose between spinning top and playing Aether Spellbomb? And the answer is no. All right, so do you have a Vigor? This is probably the time you cast Vigor. You might have wanted to cast Vigor in response to top. Hit both of these. Again, I think Wasteland is the worst possible thing that could happen to us on this turn. But I needed to use my mana and deploy my spells, and then I can you can still spin and find things here. Black Lotus. I really don't want to force because I don't because I have Intuition, Brain Freeze, Black Lotus coming off of Saga. I could theoretically look for a Breach kill. Like I don't know, LED Savine's Reclamation or something. But if they're like mono white or something here, countering Lotus is definitely good. Just pitching Freeze. Let's spin. I found Breach. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward then. I am going to... I'm just going to force this at pitching Intuition. I just got Pactive negated? I guess that means I'm dead? So it's oops all spells? Shit. Okay. Turn 1 kill with Pact backup is real bad for me. Alright, so a second match of oops all spells. I don't know why, but these prelims always have a lot of oops all spells for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know why that is the case, but they do. I don't really like oops all spells. I think the deck is kind of bad. But let's see. I think Medvedev wins a lot on the back of them being a very strong Magic player. Probably don't want Spirit. Hushbringer. Is this what we brought in last time? I don't remember. Dranith is good. Hushbringer is good. Commander is good. Balance is bad. We just took out the combo. LED, Brain Freeze. We want this. We don't want this. And we don't need Caracas. So we just take out the combo and the anti-creature cards, leave in all of our counter magic and removal, bring in some extra ones, and submit. At the very least, going 2-2 today will give me 10 points, which is definitely a bunch of leagues worth, so... I really don't like playing against oops all spells. I think it makes for... Typically, the matches are not super interesting. Sometimes they can be a little back and forth, but I mean, the nature of oops all spells is that it is going to be fairly all in. Don't I have 2 Soul Guide Lanterns? Oh, here it is. I was losing my brain. The nature of the deck just like lends itself to these, you know, all-in games where one person wins or one person loses. Just like game 3 against Sandy, where we just had a fluster and they lost. In this game, like he didn't have more than one force, so we lost. It's pretty unfortunate because I think this could be a turn 3 win for us. We were just gonna get our Lotus off of our Saga and just go for the Brain Freeze combo. That's kind of another example of like, yeah, Saga can be good, but games have to go long enough for Saga to actually be good. And this wasn't even like go long enough to make construct. This is go long enough to resolve and find an artifact. The game did not last long enough for that. And I mean, that's why when Saga was initially like a big player in the metagame, I always said, you know, you have like a bunch of different answers, but one of your answers is definitely going faster than it. And there are a lot of go fast players right now. It's technically a pretty reasonable way to beat mono white. It is, however, I think I'm going to keep this double force Flusterstorm, and then I have plays. Yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little sus, but it's the kind of hand you actually keep against this nonsense kind of all-in decks. It's really weird because I don't think you want to, like, if you were to choose an all-in deck, I think you would rather choose like Jewel Shops than Oops All Spells, because Oops All Spells, the whole losing to the graveyard hate thing is very awkward. All right, so they end up with a 5-card hand, and they have to beat triple counterspell from us. Though we, of course, are presenting no clock, so there's no real reason for them to, you know, go for a combo. See what they choose to do here. The good news is if we do hit mana, we can eventually like steal Moxen. Yeah, they're gonna play it slow, which is a smart, solid play. Any land really. Moxen. I'm gonna hold this in case I draw Library of Alexandria. I can't cast this Thieving Skydiver and steal this Emerald because I need to cost it for 3. So I'm gonna hold this jet in case I draw Library of Alexandria. Don't know why I'm losing my voice. Tap land. I like the way my opponent's playing this game. They, you know, deduced I don't have a lands in my hand. I must have all counter spells. They're gonna play a slower game. I could theoretically just cast Skydiver here, but it's part of my triple counterspell package, so probably not worth it. Yeah, my opponent is recovering from their mulligan while we don't do anything, but if we draw a white source, like, we end up being in a really strong spot. Here I have to decide whether I want to Skydive or not. I think the answer is yes. We need to exert a clock, and we still have double force, so it seems like that's a reasonable thing to do. They might even just force the Skydiver if their mana situation is not great. Just recording. All right, so we got our own Emerald here. Unfortunately, Emerald doesn't tap for Flusterstorm, but you can't win them all like that. And we actually are getting close to a Luris as well. Not that the Luris is very good here either. My opponent is not going to go off this turn, which is good for us. We get to get hold up our Flusterstorm. I would like. I mean, if they don't have a crazy good hand, I definitely. We also have get to pass Intuition too. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that as a blue card. I'm not even gonna put Luris in my hand. I'm just gonna look for an Intuition, and then Intuition for like. I mean, we have a Reclamation in hand, so some kind of crazy Lotus pile, like Lotus Academy. I don't exactly know, but I think an Academy looks really good here. Intuition target you. All right, so what I'll do is I'm definitely gonna get a Lotus. I guess I could get a Library of Alexandria. You get a Library of Alexandria. No matter what, I have Reclamation. I kind of just want Lotus, Academy, and Needle for Charbelcher. Oh, Lotus Academy Strip Mine. I guess it doesn't give me extra white mana, but whatever. I mean, oh my god, what if they just give me Academy or Strip Mine? Oh, I guess I need white mana. Okay, so I should have put I mean, if they give me Strip Mine or Academy, I'm hitting their black source or making enough mana to have like double force backup, right? And if I draw any white source, I'll have Reclamation, Lotus, and then flashback Reclamation and play Hushbringer. All right, they gave me Lotus. So now I can play Hushbringer and Reclamation. And Draenith Magistrate. So I play Black Lotus. And then I make white mana and I cast Reclamation on my Black Lotus, which is free. And then I flashback Reclamation on Academy Strip Mine. That's nuts. And then I play Draenith Magistrate Hushbringer. Even if they counter this, I could let it go and it would be fine. All right, Reclamation on Academy. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to do Luris because I have Lotus. I guess I can do that with my Academy mana next turn. This does kind of have to resolve, I think. Because you don't get the second unless... Wait, where do I get my second copy of this? Oh, as it's resolving. All right, yes. And then I'm going to bring Strip Mine back. I don't think I need to bring back Lotus. Well, I guess I can't cast my... can't cast my Luris. I guess I could cast my Luris. So now I can go Academy, Luris, play Luris, play Lotus, Strip Mine this. I guess I don't need to play both of these things. I probably should have Strip Mined and moved to second phase earlier, but it's okay. So I think it makes more sense to just play the Draenith Magistrate. This will stop Dread Return. This will stop a bunch of other things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that that was 100% optimal, but all right. So I'm actually not going to play the second one because I want to be able to hold up either Double Force or Force Fluster. So there's a chain on their Emerald so that they can... Okay, yeah, that's fine. Chain on Sapphire would have been pretty interesting to stop Fluster, but... So, like, we have Double Force for Charbelcher. They can't currently do anything here. We're going to have a ton of extra mana next turn. We're going to get to play Lotus from our graveyard. I guess first we just fetch a Plains And we play a Hushbringer. And then we play a Lotus, and then we have enough mana to cast Force Fluster, and we have a clock. So I think we're in a winning spot now, I would say. Probably the reason I didn't cast this before the Lotus is because maybe I want to cast. I guess I can't cast it again. Okay. I don't think I care. So I will be able to cast it again eventually. Not this turn because I don't have another white. I guess I could do it this turn with my Lotus. Oh no, I can't do it this turn with my Lotus because I use my Lotus. Okay, yeah. I mean, we have double Force Fluster. They still can't use Dread Return. I don't know if they know that. Like forcing Hushbringer doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me. Doesn't feel like it makes sense to me because we're just gonna cast it again. Yeah, what a weird game of Magic. This deck makes for interesting games for sure. This is like this deck feels very like old school, very just like the old way Magic used to be played. Oh, I need an answer for everything. It's just like a very unique old school style of deck building, I would say. Even it's just the lines are very interesting. Intuition with Reclamation Piles is really fun too. When you're not intuitioning for like the breach combo, which I think is very boring, when you're intuitioning for value, that's when intuition is cool. Because I think my pile ended up being bad. They gave me Lotus, which I think makes sense. But if they didn't give me Lotus, it was actually so much worse for me, right? I mean, if they give me Strip Mine, they lose their Black Swords. If they give me Tolarian Academy, I have double Force Fluster. But they probably don't know I have double Force Fluster. Maybe they can assume I need to use blue mana because I haven't had any blue mana the whole game. I feel like there might have been some kind of better pile there, but I don't know what it would be. But getting to like Reclamation, Lotus Reclamation, that was so cool. I ended up getting all of my cards back, including having a Lotus. So I ended up getting both lands, and I eventually got my Lotus back with Luris that turn. That was just so sweet. Is this cheese?
Cheese.
You just munch it on cheese?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
I need to make dinner, and I wanted to work out before Hobbs got here, but I don't know if that's happening anymore because Hobbs said I almost told Hobbs to come later, but I don't know.
When are you coming?
He said he's coming at 5.
Oh.
Didn't hear anything from Hunter. And then Rory's not coming, but Jake might come later. I don't really know. Like it was last minute, so. Is it snowing or no?
No.
Just raining?
Raining.
Okay. You're making chai? Sweet. We can make rice stir fry. All right, we're still in. I probably should have just turned off the recording while I was waiting for this person to come back. Like I said, I think that we have the tools for this matchup. We have a lot of, we have a lot of like Mindbray traps and surgicals and weird things, and all of these hate bears are obviously quite pointed. I think Hushbringer, like, it's clearly a mix between, good against Doomsday, good against Mono White, good against, Oracle, obviously. Magistrate is a weird one, right? It stops Citadel, stops some graveyard spells, stops things cast from Madness. So I really like, I don't know, this version feels a lot better than a lot of Brian's other versions. I think we'll talk about it at the end, but I would like to see some like, I'd like to shore up some of the cards in this deck to like make it have some amount more consistency. Like, is Peak really better than Ponder? Do we really need a Library of Alexandria and a Caracas in our deck? That kind of questions. I have a Cat. I have Force. I have 1 Force. And then a Saga. This is probably a keep. I don't think I can afford to not be keeping a forcible hand against this deck. Of course, I keep drawing this 1 Volcanic Island, which It's very frustrating. I would love to be able to have a fetch land for a Tundra so I could just play a Hushbringer. But if we're going to cast Breach, we should probably have a Volcanic Island in our deck. All right. They kept a 7-card hand again, so let's see how badly this goes for us. Last time they kept a 7-card hand, they went turn 1, kill us with pack backup. Here's a Crypt. Here's a Ritual. And here is a Mana Crypt. You can do whatever you like. And here's a Spy. Here's my Force. I think it's better to pitch Brainstorm. Could be wrong on that one, though. But at least it gives me another set of top decks that are good. Every blue card's a good top deck. Surgical. Not bad. All right, I'm definitely going to play Saga out, even though I'm not going to make any constructs off it. I just need to be able to get to my hate pieces at 0 and 1 mana. Kind of hoping they have a follow-up Spy or something, and then we can just get them with Surgical. Doesn't seem like that's the case. Now I'd like to draw a blue card for Force or a white land for Hushbringer. Of course, I draw my Library of Alexandria. I hate this deck so much. I don't know if it's better to play Library or play Volcanic. I just wish this was a fetch land. Every time I've drawn Library, I've wished it was a fetch land, right? It would have cast, if it was a fetch land, it would have been Tundra Balance against Hogak, and here it would have been white mana Hushbringer. All right, so I'm going to get Needle, and I'm going to Needle Goblin Charbelcher because I have Hushbringer for Thassa's Oracle. So far away from this library. All right, so they have Force for this. This is great. And they got pitched Misstep. So I got rid of Force and Misstep. All right, so now we have a chance. They lost 3 flips in a row, which is quite unlucky. We actually have Savine's Reclamation for Hushbringer next turn, and we have Surgical to protect us this turn. Man, Savine's Reclamation is a hell of a card. I think this card is severely underplayed. I know it takes a lot of effort to make it, work, but... Reclamation back my Hushbringer. All right. And now we have extra damage for their Mana Crypt, which has hit them 4 of 4 times. That's incredible, too. My opponent, not the luckiest here. Though if they had waited 1 turn on their Spy, they would have had Forcible backup. Probably not correct, but... Yep, they're dead. Wow. And so that was a pretty impressive 3-1 with the Brian Kelly deck. Obviously, I feel like Oops All Spells, if you just have a certain amount of interaction, you're just going to beat that most of the time, and which is what happened. And then against Oath was a really interesting match, back and forth. We have a bunch of good answers. I feel like that's probably done a nice matchup for us. And then Hogak does seem like it's challenging, but we had the cards we needed. I think, slightly better play might have resulted in a win there for sure. But like I said, everyone who's watched the stream has seen how good Library of Alexandria has been for Brian against me. I just think I would rather be able to cast spells than play Library of Alexandria personally. So I would be thinking, like, is Peak better than the other cantrips? Maybe we play Ponder. Is Library better than a Fetch? I think I'd rather play a Fetch instead of Library. I do think the Aether Spellbomb and the Lantern have their points, but then I would ask myself, why is there no Needle in the main? Needle seems like the exact kind of card that we would want in this deck as a one-of. So maybe there's a way to get a Needle in this deck. I do really like 2 Reclamation, 2 Intuition, Breach package. Having the extra 2 Intuitions as tutors and then Reclamation working with your other side of your combo I really like the added consistency that Brian does by having this set of cards, which I like a lot. I'm a big fan of Cathar Commando in this deck. I think that the card's great. And then the Magistrate and the Hushbringer actually end up being pretty good this tournament. But I don't know how good they are as main cards in the main overall. So, but actually, like I said, I think this is probably one of the best versions of this deck I've seen from Brian yet. Usually, there's a lot of suspect cards. This one feels like the number of suspect cards is significantly lower than normal, and the deck functions at a more consistent level, which I really like. Make sure you check this stream out for more vintage content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my YouTube channel. I will see you then.